Hello Leo, how you doing? How has your week been? Did you manage to be a little bit more sort of easy going on yourself? Cut yourself a bit of slack? I hope so, because if you do, it makes life a lot easier for you in lots of different areas in life, be it relationships or finances and everything like that. The world's not perfect, nothing is perfect. The only moment perfection exists is in the first breath and in the last exhalation on this planet. So, don't be so hard on yourselves. You obviously try to do the best, like a lot of people, but, sometimes the world is round, but it's not smooth, as I say. Okay, so this is your Astroflower reading for the week of June the 13th going through to June the 20th or the 19th. If you don't know anything about the Astroflower, there's plenty of links in the description below, but just to give you a brief heads up, this is your relationship side, your spiritual sort of side, your emotional sort of side, and this side here is your financial sort of side. There's lots of elements that go on here, the petal system, which you will find in the links below. If you're part of the Astroflower family, I do thank you dearly. If you want to be part of the Astroflower family, it's very easy. All you need to do is subscribe and click that bell. So let's go straight in here. Let's see what the overall sort of reading. So basically, we sort of channel the information, as it were, and allow the cards to sort of clarify that channeling. Fixed signs seem to have this across the board at the moment. It's less pronounced in your good selves, simply because you're in a month before your birthday. So if you look at the Astroflower, if you've got your Astroflower book, you'll know about the human rhythms. And the 3 months before your birthday is that autumn period in your year. And the month before your birthday is pretty much where we investigate the spiritual side of life, our energies, our emotions, what sort of things we've been doing over a year, what sort of things we want to stop, what sort of things we want to continue, or even start new. And then after your birthday, then we start doing it. We start putting the plan of action into place. It's just a question of rhythm, basically, like a seasonal rhythm with anything that lives upon this planet. And if you start respecting that sort of rhythm, life tends to help you out. And this is what the Astroflower is all about. It's all about trying to make the best out of any situation that you find yourself, so you can progress constantly and steadily. There's been a lot of things going on, and there's this retrograde, or not retrograde, it's Saturn in Aquarius that went in on the 7th of June. And it's going to be in Aquarius right through to the 23rd of October. Now, this ties in with the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipses, which we did videos on in May, which is in Taurus season, and that they actually have another eclipse on both the sun and the moon in October in Scorpio season. So it's all about the fixed signs at the moment. It's putting things down and working on the base concrete stuff. And I did an energy update on Cymatic TV last week and got the message from the Earth through the ley lines, through the energy lines that go across our Earth. And the message that sort of came through is that the humans need to take a good, hard, cold look at themselves. And this is what happens when Saturn apparently goes into Aquarius. It makes people have a good, hard look at themselves. So this may be tying in beautifully for you guys. Simply because you're into that autumn period, and it is a time to take a good hard look at oneself, to see what sort of things we've been doing in the past and what sort of things we want to do in the future. If you try and do too much at the moment, it may make life a little bit difficult. Things will not go to plan, as it were, or you may find yourself, you haven't got the force, you're lacking a bit of energy, as it were. But we never really lack energy. That's not how energy works. But the flow of energy going through you is not as rapid as in the rest of the year. So it could affect you in that sort of respect. Okay, so there's a lot going on at the moment, and then we are in between two vibrations. I go into the chakra sequences on that Cymatic TV as well. You may want to go and have a look at that. That's also linked in the description below. So just keep that in mind when we're going through, or when you approach life. If you can keep that sort of idea in, you know, it doesn't have to be in your forefront of your mind, but it just has to be there. It's going to help you enormously to sort of where you apply your energies and where you apply your forces, and not get so upset with oneself simply because the environment's not in a good sort of condition to lend to the projects that you may be doing right at that second. So it's a case of timing, really, to seeing where you apply and where you don't apply your things in your life. But already, looking at your reading here, certainly within the center, because you've got the two karmic paths here, there's a lot of force going on here. What with the Eight of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles at the base on your karmic paths, that's really giving you focus and laser-like sort of thinking going on. And then you have the King of Wands, which is pretty much got a lot to do with you, Leo, because you've got that lion in the background, and that's that overall energy flowing through. So the fixed signs here at the moment, they've got a build up in their base, then it lulls through, and then there's another build up at the end. But because you're going through your autumn, it's less pronounced. Have you got holidays planned, Leo? I hope so. That's going to be interesting. Just looking at petal 10 there quickly to sort of see the outcome of the week through to the 19th and 20th. And it's got that holiday feel about it, really, but very light, very easygoing, and we'll see how it all sort of plays out. Let's go first. Let's go into the relationship side of life and see what's going on there. Just need to start my timer, as it were. Okay, so this is your karmic path on your relationship side, and this is coming from within you. So basically, this is this reflection I was talking about as we go into the last month before your birthday. That transition period going from 2 months before your birthday, it's on the physical side. Now it's sort of for some of you, it'd be moving on to the energy or emotional, spiritual sort of side, and that's sort of flowing from yourself. And it's sort of saying there, better know yourself rather than knowing the outside world, which we would do anyway, and everybody explores the outside world. But it's better to know where you're coming from. And I think this is what the Eight of Pentacles here are trying to help you with, trying to make you a little bit more sort of precise in how you know yourself and know what you want out of relationships and what you want as a way of emotions, in the way of a spiritual sort of sense. You did have the Two of Cups here last week, and you did have the Three of Cups there and the Tower there. So it's gradually moved into that sort of looking at what you've been doing over the past year, and looking forward to what you want to be having in the coming year, and that possibly what that Tower moment was all about. Let's see what the overall energy is going through you. So yeah, this is pointing much more towards the relationship side. It does point towards the financial sort of side, but much more so to the relationship side. And I think this is backing up that Eight of Pentacles in a way, that karmic path, this karmic positioning really for you this week, where it's sort of saying, lead by your own example. That's the overall energy there. Lead by your own example in regards to relationships. So if you have a certain respect for people or certain interaction, or you treat people in a certain way, you should expect that the people treat you in the similar sort of way. If they don't, then obviously these are people that may not be important to you in your life, and that probably not a good idea to have around you. Doesn't mean they're horrible or anything like that. Everyone's completely different. It just might mean that they're not really suited for your environment at this present second. So that's lending true to the idea of knowing who you are. And I think that's really important. Let's see how the universe is sort of like influencing your path, as it were. This is also coming from within you, but it's there's a lot of space in it. And in order to see clearly, you need a bit of light. So the universe is trying to shine lights on situations within your relationships. And this could be family, friends, community, or partners. It's trying to shine light on a situation so you can see clearly. So, Five of Swords, giving you that space to choose what sort of interaction you have with other people. If it is conflictual stuff, sometimes it's not worth winning. And I think this is what the universe is sort of trying to say here. If you look at a situation clearly in the light, you might realize that some of the situations are just not worth getting involved in, and it'd probably be best to walk away from. So the universe is allowing that. It's shining light on all the relationships that are around you. Let's see how your guides sort of do this. This is pushing out much more. It's not just coming from within you. It's pushing out as if it's pushing out the outside world in a way. Pushing... but not really pushing. It's more sort of making a resistance to the outside world within your relationships in order for only the relationships that are going to be beneficial, not only for you, but for you, the people that are around you or the people that are involved in the relationships, in order to, so you're concentrating on the best of the situations that you need to deal with. And the message that sort of comes through is everything is in timing. So someone who might be a really good friend today may not be really close in, say, like 15 years. Someone who's not close before may be really close now. So it's all a question of timing. So relationships, I think it's sort of saying relationships comes and goes, and it's realizing where you are in order to have a good relationship with the outside world. Seven of Cups. You had that on the other side last week. This is a real transition between the two, actually, funnily enough. And you're going from, your physical side onto your emotional sort of side. And it's a transition for a lot of sides. That's what I was talking about Saturn at the beginning, basically. Let's just see how the guys are trying to influence the conversation that is within you. It's been quite tricky to read your sign this week, simply because you're going through that transition. No, this is a good one. This is similar to the guide here, but here it's sort of like, it's almost in a comb fact. Rather than a wall, it's more like a comb. So it's allowing things, certain things through, or allowing steady streams through. So rather than your guides will not allow you to be invaded by the outside world, too much emotions at one given time. So the message that comes from this is a clear head makes for good decisions. Okay? A clear head makes for good decisions. Six of Cups. So you've got the Six of Cups and the Seven of Cups. That's quite progressive coming down into you. I've got to say, for the Seven of Cups, usually it's about sort of choice. Sometimes it can be a bit about sort of procrastination. But really, what that card is saying there is that there may be loads of possibilities in front of you, but there's really only one choice in life. And there's no real choices. It's just an evident path. So things that your guides will be letting through, or the coincidences that will be letting through into your life, will simply be It's no longer a question of a choice. It's a question of, it's evident for me to be doing that. On this side here, you got the Six of Cups. So I think it's filtering out the old, as I was saying earlier on, it's filtering out the whole of last year. You're coming into your birthday season, and it's putting into perspective, putting a lot of light on the situation that may have caused you headaches over the last year that you can walk away from into a brighter future, basically. And it's you who are in command. That's the thing, Leo. You are the one that's in control of all of this. Let's have a look what's going on your money side. Let's just get the Two of Pentacles here. This is very stable now. I was wondering if you did the Two of Pentacles last time. No, you didn't. This is in, if you imagine, it's a bit like a tide. When you get high tide, and the tide doesn't actually, it's not going in or going out. It's stationary. It's between the two. And this is what it's sort of saying on your financial sort of side is. It's a good time to look around at that moment when things are calm. To get your perspective of where you are within your career, your business. And it's just, I think more than how to, I think here on the karmic path, it's how do you look at your business or your job or your projects, and you assess what in the future is good to put your effort and time into within those sectors, within that job or within that business. So it's not actually sort of saying concentrate on certain things in life. It's here, it's sort of saying, okay, now get it clear in your thinking or in your spirit, what you should be concentrating on the future. That's why it's sort of stationary rather than one side or the other. Let's just see how the universe is influencing that karmic path. It's helping you to build up potential. So let's say you run a shop, you've ordered a load of one product in, you haven't yet put it out on the shelves, but you've done a display in the window. People are coming past and kind of going, oh, I wonder what that is. And so you're building up this sort of potential. This is how the universe is trying to help you. It's trying to help you with putting the ideas out there so you can actually build up a bit of force in you. It's not actually triggering it yet, but it's building up, nurturing. It's exactly what it is, Leo. It's nurturing that future passage for your business. And you may find it's around you at the moment that it's building up. You can see the potential in the world around you. It may not be the moment to strike. So it might be a little bit of a case of patience. Be interesting if the Temperance card comes out here. Let's just see how the guides are trying to influence your karmic path. This is doing a very similar situation to this, but it's much, much thicker, less pointed. It's almost saying as a sort of like, just be careful how you spend your money this week. I wouldn't just start, spending too much. It's asking you to sort of keep your investments to a minimum, because in the future, you're going to have to invest. And this could be investment into your time. So if you're in a job, in order to get that pay rise or to follow that career path, you're going to have to invest your time into the company that you work for. And if you do that, then it's going to be a lot easier for you to do later on, but not necessarily now. And now I think on this working side is a real sort of observation. King of Pentacles. That's a really beautiful card to have here. Funny on this side here, you're getting nothing but pentacles. On this side here, yeah, you got a sword and a pentacle, but you got those cups as well that are playing into it. And I think the King here of Pentacles is just sitting back and building your inner confidence and strength within you before you actually start playing on the job market or in the business and etc. Allow the universe to help to build you up as well. Allow those coincidences or those gifts from the universe to come in. Let's just see how the guides are trying to influence that conversation that is within you. So there's a similar sort of thing as well. Here they're acting like a wise old person in a way, and sort of saying, patience, patience, wait for it, wait for it. You know, it's that sort of thing. It's allowing life to come into you, but as you're like speaking to someone and say, like, if someone comes in and says, no, I've got a great idea for a business, and they explain their idea, and it could be a fantastic idea, but your guides are probably going to be in the situation kind of going, wait, hang on a second, let's mull this over. Say to them, you'll go back to them and you'll speak to them next week. That sort of thing, it's not putting things off, it's really allowing yourself time to let everything filter through for you. So don't get caught up in dreamland, which is nice to do. It's nice to sort of search for those miracles and what have you in life and work towards them. But at the moment for you, Leo, I think it's a case of being patient. And this is how your guides are trying to reduce that that dreamlike state where we tend to, that's where illusions can be created within our lives. Okay, so let's just see what's going on down here. As I said earlier on, it seems like a holiday sort of thing, and how it all sort of accumulates together. A break is as good as a change. I know it's normally a change is as good as a holiday. That's the phrase, but I think this sort of goes opposite to that. You know, a holiday is good as a change, and I think it's really asking you to take a bit of time out and space for you. Ace of Pentacles, starting that new journey. So before you start that new journey, you got to prepare the ground. And you're probably looking for that journey to start now, and you might feel a little bit, frustrated sometimes because you want things to go a lot faster than they actually do. None of these are real fast cards. You've got the King of Pentacles going on here. You've got the King of Wands in the center. They're very, the King of Wands. Okay, so it's a fire sign, but it's not quick. It's a leader. It's someone who stands up and gradually moves down the path. It's not really charging as per se. The Ace of Pentacles is slow. You've got the Seven of Pentacles, which is also slow. Seven of Cups, which is slow. This whole sort of thing is sort of saying, Leo, take time out. Just enjoy and allow the river to carry you on through. Because things are going to be building up. With the Ace of Pentacles, that means that you've started planting for the future, and those plants are going to need tendering in the going future. Next week, I would have thought, on the material or financial sort of side, it's going to start changing and allowing, especially with that Two of Pentacles, I think it's going to start changing and allowing you to see clearly what you should be investing in, what you should be investing your time and your energy into, but also your finances into. And I think this is next week. It's going to become clear if it's a shorter term plan, longer term plan, if it's to do with your spirit or to do with the outside world, if it's a new product or a new business or a new job. But whatever it is, I think you still need to be patient at this time and take your time out to just enjoy the life that is around you. Okay? So there you go, Leo. I hope this helps you out for this coming week. In the meantime, there is loads of links in the description below. We do a lot of stuff on Instagram, but we also have our sister channel, Cymatic TV, where we go into everything energy, basically. Yeah, so in the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.